Okay, so I suddenly got called into work today, even though I wasn't supposed to, so I don't really have a lot of time, so we're gonna have to try to do this a little bit quickly. You saw the title, right? This one is going to Korea, apparently. I mean, it's on purpose. I don't really know how to say it in a way, because it doesn't feel real yet. So you might be a little bit confused, because that's kind of the wrong country, based on my university major, based on, you know, what I'm technically supposed to be studying, and like where and what and stuff. But my language journey in general actually started with Korea. I was back in like 2014. I started liking K-pop, and then it evolved from there, you know. I don't have an original story as to why I wanted to learn Korean or why I want to be in Korea for a while. It was K-pop, you know. I started liking that, and then for fun, I started learning the language a little bit, you know, doing the Hangul and stuff like that. And then I went to Korea for a holiday. And I stayed with my Korean pen pal and her family for, I think, 9 days, yeah? And ever since then, it's held a very special place in my heart, because that was, you know, once in a lifetime experience. It was really fun, it was really nice, and I always wanted to be able to communicate with them more and better. My friend does speak English, but her parents do not really. Well, I mean, her dad is very good at saying butipur and stuff like that. He knows those words, which is really, really sweet and really fun. But yeah, I actually really wanted to be able to communicate with them more. I want to travel more in Korea. I generally just want to spend more time there, and also, I really love learning languages. So it started with Korea and Korean, and then I needed to choose something to do for university, and there is no Korean course in Norway, it's just Japanese. I do love Japan too. It's not like Japan is like my second choice or my leftover choice or whatever. But it was Korea first, and then, you know, I moved into Japanese because that's what was available, and I love that too. But since Japan won't let anyone in, this is what we're doing. My original plan was actually to do, you know, finish my Japanese degree first and then move on to studying Korean full-time and stuff like that, but these days, nothing goes according to plan, especially this last year. So, what is actually happening is that I have applied to Hanyang University's Korean language course. It starts at the beginning of September. My application has been approved, so I have gotten my, what's it called? My certificate of enrollment. And then I need to actually physically send a document to them and also pay my tuition fees, which I have paid. So yeah, once those things are in place, once they have received my my high school diploma, basically, I will get my letter of admission, and with that, I am officially, you know, ready to study at Hanyang University as a Korean language course student. And at that point, I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to get a student visa. And it's not that I think it's all that hard, but if you go to the website and like the visa navigator and look at the documents you need and like how to do it and stuff like that, it's just, it feels overwhelming. It's mostly just that everything is just like small text, and it's not that bad once you really look at it and like break it down, because you will have like this much of text and it's gonna be like super, super tiny. So it's like a lot and it feels like a lot, but if you actually look at it, there's only gonna be like maybe 4 points on that entire list that actually is valid for you or for me. Because a lot of it is like, if this, if not this, so it becomes longer and it looks more convoluted than it is. But yeah, I've been looking at that. I've been looking at a lot of things. My mind, my head has been boiling for weeks. I started this... When did I start this actually? I've been sitting on this for a while. Okay, so I started this at the end of April. So it's currently mid-June. So I've been sitting on this for a little bit of a while without really telling anyone. I mean, the boyfriend obviously knows because he lives here and he's like kind of part of the future that I'm creating, so he kind of needs to know which country I'll be in and stuff. But yeah, it's been a while. I haven't really talked about it with a lot of people until things became a bit more certain, because I'm so sick of my plans falling through after I've shared it. I mean, this might still fall through. It's not, you know, it's not like it's a guarantee that it's gonna work out this time either, but I don't see like a specific reason as to why it would fall through this time, and I'm probably jinxing myself right now. But I mean, Korea is open for people with a visa, and their visa applications are open, and I might even be able to get vaccinated, fully vaccinated before I go. So yeah, it does look like it's gonna work out, which is why I'm sharing it with you. And I do want to talk more about it. Like, I want to talk about the process in general, because I'm going through this alone, kind of. Well, actually, I'm using Gogo Hanguk, Handbook, which is a service that helps people apply to schools and stuff. I could apply directly to the school, but you're not really losing anything by having a student coordinator, by having someone help you with this. The only problem if you don't want to use a Google Handbook is if they don't have a deal with the school you want to go to, because they're only partners with like certain schools and not partnered with like everyone and everything. So yeah, you have like a more limited pool of schools that you can apply to. But personally, so far, I think their help has been very helpful. I'm gonna talk more about it later. It's not sponsored or anything. Why would anyone sponsor me? But you know, I want to share my experience once we kind of get to a point where I feel like I have more of an experience to share. Sorry, my mind is a bit jumbled. I wasn't really able to properly prepare for this video because I need to be out of the house in about 15 minutes and I need to change first and stuff like that. But yeah, initial plan is that, you know, I'm gonna continue with the application process. I've been accepted to the school, so once they receive my payment, which they should have already received, and once they receive my high school diploma, which was sent today, should take maybe a couple weeks before it's there. I think it says like 6 to 8 business days before it arrives, so hopefully, like today's a Monday, so hopefully sometime next week it will arrive. At that point I will get my letter of admission, which I will then take to the embassy and get a visa, and then you know, depending on quarantine rules and whatever and the vaccine and stuff, I'll be either leaving at the end of August or at the beginning of September. And I'm enrolled for 2 semesters, which will end sometime in February. So I'm gonna be in Korea for like 6 months. That's the initial plan. What happens after that, I'm not entirely sure, to be completely honest with you. I don't have it all planned out. I'm really like freestyling it here. I will return to finish my degree. Probably after Korea. So if I finish in February, I have some time, and then don't know what I'll do with that time, but then probably that fall, like fall of next year, I'm gonna continue with the degree, because at that point I'm pretty sure things are gonna be back to normal. It's such a mess. I have no idea how to tell my parents, because I think most of my family at this point, they're sort of just accepted that I just do things my way. It doesn't always make sense. It's not always the easiest way or like the most straight way forward. It's very much like this, and they don't necessarily like agree with that approach. I'm pretty sure that they would all appreciate if I could just finish something and like, you know, settle and become more economically secure and all this kind of, they mean well. It's just, you know, I've never really done it that way. So yeah, I mean, they were accepting of the fact that I wanted to study Japanese, but they were always worried about what I would do as a job, and now I'm suddenly going to study a different language in a different country, just sort of out of the blue. And I'm not entirely sure how to break it to them. I mean, they're not gonna do anything. I just don't really want to have arguments about it, and I don't really want to explain it if they're not gonna listen at all. I need to just catch them on a good day, honestly. It's not like I'm breaking bad news to them. It's just... I guess you could say that I'm painfully aware that this is not necessarily the sensible thing to do. This is not the responsible adult way to make your life from it. What am I saying? It's very much me following my heart, me following my desire in life, and I think it's important, but you know, you can't just blindly follow your heart. It needs to lead somewhere. And I don't know what I'll be doing as a job for the rest of my life, which is kind of the big problem here. But you know what? All of that are worries for about, I don't know, future. I don't know. I told you that this video was not well prepared. I just needed to get it out there and just needed to tell you that, hey, I'm gonna go to Korea. It's gonna be fun though. I mean, yay. I don't know what level I'll be placing at. I'm gonna have to take a placement test because I'm not starting at the very bottom. I'm not sure where I'll be starting, but it's not, I do know some Korean. I know some words I can read, I can write. I am studying by myself, hoping that I can get myself to a somewhat more comfortable level before I go, so that at the very least I can do like, you know, small talk, like the small simple things. I don't know if I seem excited or not. Maybe I just seem stressed. I'm very stressed. I mean, I already went through like something similar like this when I was applying for being an exchange student at my Japanese course. So I was applying for exchange to Japan, and that was a bit like, it's a bit, you know, lots of paperwork and forms and stuff. But at that point, like we were 4 people going to that school. Of course it got cancelled. But we were initially 4 people, and also we had a student coordinator, so I wasn't alone in it. I could ask like the other people, like, hey, how did you write this? Or like, what did you put here? Like, how did you explain blah 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 or whatever. I wasn't alone in that process. I mean, I have Google Hanguk now, which is very, very helpful for all the questions that I might have. But I'm also figuring all of this out alone, and it's not easy, but definitely it becomes a lot more difficult because I'm an overthinker. I think too much about everything. I haven't had a good night's sleep in months. My average sleep is down to 6 hours now, which is less than before. I can tell that I physically am not doing so great because of it, but it is what it is. Okay, I need to go to work, but I am very excited. It's just I can't feel it. It's like, yeah, I know it's there, but it's just kind of hidden behind a giant wall of overthinking. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching. That was my big announcement that I've been talking about for a while. It's a lot more secure as a plan now that I have my certificate of enrollment, because basically I am accepted. I just need to get the paperwork to be able to go to Korea. So yeah. And I have a lot of people that I need to contact and tell at this point, including my family, but also my friends in Korea. I haven't really told most of them, because I didn't want to be like, yes, I'm coming, and then I'm not coming anyways. But now it's pretty settled. I've dumped a lot of money into it, and yeah, that's it. That's all. If you want to know more about the process and stuff, I'm definitely going to be talking about that a lot more. Vlogs in Korea, it's gonna be more fun. Exploring new things. It's gonna be good. I am looking forward to it, YouTube-wise as well. So do subscribe and share some excitement with me. I don't know. I'll see you later. I'll see you next time, okay? Wish me good luck at work, because I really don't want to go, but I have to. So bye. Bye-bye.